Now, I know you approached some people from the ANC to take part in interviews for the book, but you were met with some resistance. Can you tell me what these people from the ANC had to say about what you were writing about?
Yeah, well, so the standard line from the ANC people that I approached was that they were not going to waste their time talking about this man, and that to even bring up his name was to glorify a traitor. Yeah, and then they wouldn't talk to me, but I got the sense that there was something more to that resistance than just saying, oh, we don't want to glorify a traitor, and that's that there's so many secrets about our past that we don't know much or anything about, and the fear among people in the ANC, especially people who knew September, was that to even talk about him would be to open the door, even if it ever so slightly, to all these closets that hold these secrets.
Now, what was your response to these people who were criticizing your work on researching September?
Well, look, my standard response is that a story doesn't become illegitimate or doesn't become less valid just because it makes you uncomfortable. In fact, it's precisely those stories that make us uncomfortable that need to be told, and they need to be told in as rounded a way as one possibly can. So that was my response, and of course I'm not glorifying September. And this is something that I think some of the critics miss about both this book and my first book, Native Nostalgia, that in making an argument for complicity, I'm not making an argument for moral absolution. So I'm not saying that September wasn't guilty of the crimes he committed. I say that he needs to be. I mean, he's long dead now, but I say that people like him need to be held responsible for their actions. They need to be held morally responsible, certainly, for their actions. So I'm not absolving people of moral responsibility. In fact, I insist on it. But I also insist on not telling these stories.
Now, Jacob, what do you hope people take away from Askari?
Well, that's a difficult question, Jennifer, because I obviously have no way of determining how people read the book, and people will find in it whatever they want to find, depending on the mood, orientation, ideological commitments, histories, etc., etc. But if the book succeeds, I think it should be in raising questions about our past. It should be in helping people ask questions about our past, but also help people realize that stories can be told, no matter how complex, and that telling a story doesn't make it definitive. Because I don't see Askari as in any way a definitive account of Askari's and Askari Dome, but I see it as an opening chapter, essentially, to what is an incredible story, a story that needs to be told. So what I hope people take away from the book are questions and more questions, but also a challenge to tell stories that deserve to be told.
Jacob, thank you.
Jennifer, thank you, and thanks for your time, and thanks for reading the book and having this conversation with me about it.